Hey, it goes 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Now here we go. Okay, so we had a Twitter Spaces this week and the topic was the Game Pass effect. So what I did was I just chopped it up for a few minutes telling what I see from my point of view as the Game Pass effect. And I think it is an unintended side effect that Microsoft did not foresee. And then I opened it up to the people. The Twitter Spaces was full. I don't know how many people was on there. It was a lot, like maybe 100 or 2 people there. And the thing ended up crashing at the end. So the video is only up until the Twitter Spaces crashed. But there was some really good conversation up before that. We had some special guest speakers. I appreciate everybody that stopped through. We had some gamers just come through, tell their side of the story, what they think about Game Pass. And then we just left it at that. Everybody just shared their opinions on what I call the Game Pass effect, and we just let it ride. So this is the community talking to me, your boy, about the Game Pass effect. I did what I could to record it and get like good audio from it. I'm gonna have to figure out a better way to do that, but this is the best that we could do. So I hope that y'all can hear what's going on and that y'all can understand the conversation. What up, what up? What up? Oh, you want to talk? All right, let me see what you're trying to say. What up, man? Hieronymus, what's up? What you got to say? This man did all of this and now he ain't saying nothing. What is going on? You probably got a trash phone. All right.
There you go.
There you go. What's up, man? What's so complicated, man? You press the button and start talking. Golly.
No, it was like some video on Twitter was playing in the background about, and I had to cut that off, and then it cut my mic off. So I was like, huh.
Bro, you stay with Xbox. I see why you can't install a SSD expansion card. You are right to be afraid, sir. If you can't press the mute button on Twitter, we got big problems.
No, it automatically muted you. It automatically muted me, so I had to unmute myself. That was the problem. But then it kicked off a video. It kicked off a video playing in the background on Twitter. So I was like, oh. So I had to get out of, minimize the space to cut that video off. So it kind of used it. So
yeah, all right. That's enough of that. So what you got for us, man? You don't have to explain your blunders no further. What you got for us?
Okay. Well, you talking about the topic of Game Pass?
Yeah, I thought you had something to say early. Yeah, that's definitely the topic. I thought you wanted to jump in early and say something.
Oh no, I was saying hi. Did you ever get to play the Ascent and everything like that?
Oh man,
right, sorry, couldn't tell me.
Man, yes, we played tons of Ascent for sure. Then it was a bug that pretty much halted everything, but I hear there's a patch out now, so I might go back to it this weekend. We'll see.
Oh yeah, because I just started, but I was waiting for the patch to come out because I was hearing about the bug. So I don't like playing games when they don't have that day one patch to fix stuff. So.
Actually, you could have just stopped right there. You don't like playing games. That was it. That was your whole thing. You and all your little Xbox brothers. That's all y'all do is we don't like playing. We talk about games, but we don't play no games.
I play games. I play games all the time.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get the show going, man. If you want to speak later after I get done, then you can jump back in.
That's good.
All right, bro.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so topic is the Game Pass effect, and I'm gonna try to keep this short because, like I said, I try to do these things on lunch break so that the most amount of people can come in, hopefully on their lunch break, catch the show for a few minutes. I'm gonna try to keep my verses short so that if people got something that they want to say, then it's ample opportunity. We only gonna do 3 speakers at a time though, like that's the limit. So once you get in, once you speak your piece, then you're gonna have to go on and bounce after you have spoken your piece. All right, so the Game Pass effect. Now, what I'm saying about this is that I guess technically we still like 2 minutes early, but I don't care. I'm gonna go ahead and get started because people got stuff to do. So for the Game Pass effect, for me, and I'm talking about my own buying habits, my own spending habits on Xbox. So before Game Pass, I looked at my Xbox library, and the amount of games that I had bought for Xbox was over 300. I think it was like 317 or something like that. I don't remember the exact number, but I was always buying games on Xbox. Not all of them at full price, of course. I would catch those little sales that they would have because they always got some type of little deal going on. So I'd always grab a sale, or I would buy some day one stuff on Xbox, obviously depending on what it was. But the point is, I was always spending money on Xbox. And then, of course, I would get those Xbox Live Gold. They would give you 4 games a month, 2 games for Xbox One, and then 2 360 games. So that was cool too. So my collection was growing, but the amount of games that I'd actually spent money on for this previous generation, actually it stopped in like 2018. So let's just say all the way up to 2018 was right a little over 300 games. And that's what I did. And I would look for the sales, right? Like I would look to see what's on sale. What do I want to buy? What have I been wanting to try out, but not willing to try it out at full price? If it's on sale low enough, good, then grab it. And if not, then, you know, I'll move on, wait for another sale. But I always had a ton of stuff to try. Like I have not played all 300 of the games that I bought, right? So the amount of games that I buy versus the amount of games that I play, or that's in my backlog, the ratio is off. I buy more games than I play. So of course I have started going through those games, and then recently, within the last like 7 or 8 months or so, I decided that I like the PlayStation Platinum Trophy system better than the achievement system on Xbox. So a lot of the games that I have on Xbox, I've started rebuying them again on PlayStation because I want the Platinum Trophy. If I'm going to go through all the effort of doing all the stuff in the game, I at least want the Platinum Trophy for it. So I've started rebuying games that previously I would have played on Xbox, and I'm playing those on PlayStation now instead, simply because of how big a fan I am of the trophy system on PlayStation. So even though I have those games on Xbox, I didn't play them, but that's what all of our backlog is, right? Like we all have a backlog, and the games in our backlog are games that didn't catch us enough to play right away, but we eventually want to get to playing them like someday. And that's why we got them. And we think they'd be fun experiences for us. So I noticed though, that when Game Pass came out, at first when Game Pass came out, I didn't notice any difference. I was just doing my regular thing. If there was something on Game Pass, I would buy it. I'm sorry, if there was something on the sale or a new day one purchase, I would buy it, I would play it or add it to the backlog. But then when Game Pass came out, I realized after, I don't remember what the games were, but after it happened like that 3rd or 4th time is when I started to notice a change in myself. So what had happened was I was buying games like normal, and then the games that I bought ended up in Game Pass. And when that happened, I was annoyed because even though I bought the game on the sale, the game went into Game Pass at what we will just say no additional cost, because that game isn't free, right? So once I bought a game and then the game went into Game Pass for no additional cost, I was annoyed because I could have just waited and experienced that game on Game Pass instead of spending money for it. And in addition to that, the sale price of the game in Game Pass was cheaper than the price that I paid for it. So when it came down to it, it would have been better for me to wait for the game to go in Game Pass, even if I still wanted to buy it and own it, because I want ownership of all of my titles. So at the end of the day, and again, like I said, the first time it happened, it didn't really bother me. But like that 3rd or 4th time that it happened, that's when I start feeling frustrated, because I realized that, hey, this can happen again and again. And because I, as a consumer, never actually know what game is going into Game Pass, it is impossible for me to predict what I would call a safe purchase. It is safe to buy this game and add it to the backlog or play it, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like whatever I do with it once I buy it, it's up to me, right? But the idea was that it was unclear to me what was safe for me to buy, because at any point the things that I'm buying could end up in Game Pass, as a better deal, as a better option. And so what I noticed was that I just stopped buying games on Xbox, and not because there was anything wrong with the games or wrong with the platform. Game Pass was discouraging me from spending money on things outside of Game Pass itself. Now, if a game was in Game Pass, then of course, you know, it's an easy decision then, because I can either try it out as much as I want. Like we all know, that's one of the benefits of Game Pass. You just try the games out. If you like them, great. If you don't like them, you haven't really lost anything other than time. And that's another topic for another day. I will get on that. There's not going to be time for this in this conversation, because I'm trying to cover this in a lunch break and, you know, get it on in and get on out so people can get back to what they're doing. But the whole idea that your time isn't valuable and you can just go ahead and waste time on all these games and Game Pass and you're not losing anything, that's bullshit. That your time is actually the most valuable thing that you have in this entire world. But that aside, the point is that when I would buy something on Xbox, I stopped doing it, waited to see what was in Game Pass, and then if I wanted to buy a game, I would buy it if it was in Game Pass. If it's not in Game Pass, I would wait. For example, Death's Door. I don't know if that's coming to Game Pass or not. And I keep hearing people talk about it and saying that it's really good. And it's only like a dub or something. Probably less than that. I don't even know how much it costs. But the point is, I have no motivation to buy that game, because I do not know that if I buy it a little while later, it'll be in Game Pass, and it would have been better for me to just wait for it to go in Game Pass. Because again, like I said, every game I buy, I don't play it immediately. Some games I buy and add them to the backlog. So if I'm not going to play Death's Door right now, what is the benefit of me buying it and adding it to the backlog on Xbox? And like the answer is none, like zero. And so what I do, and this is the change that I have noticed in myself, is I really don't pay attention to what's not in Game Pass. The only time I pay attention to something that's not in Game Pass is to try to figure out when is it coming to Game Pass, or if at all. So I jump in on Game Pass, I see what they got. If I'm not playing something from my backlog, I will look through the catalog, the current Game Pass catalog. You know, Microsoft, they always send you those little text messages. You know, like if you go to the Xbox and you start it up, and if you look at the messages, there will always be a message there from Xbox about what's leaving Game Pass and when. So you have an idea of when things are leaving the service. So if you really want to play them, they do a good job of letting you know, hey, you need to play this before the time runs out, or go ahead and buy it, you know, if you don't have time. So they do a good job with that stuff. But the point is that I choose what I'm going to play based on what's in the service. And if it's not in the service, I ignore it. Again, only to find out when is it coming to the service. So for example, like I use Death's Door as an example. Not interested in purchasing that game on Xbox. Why? Because I don't know if it's going to Game Pass. Another one, Battlefield, which I'm getting my PC built. It's almost at the finishing touches. I think I'm gonna have to check on it. But that's something that I would play on PC anyway. But just as an example, if Battlefield was coming to Xbox, which obviously it is, and now they got all this EA stuff, Battlefield is a game that I'm really not sure if it's coming to Game Pass or not. And since I'm not really that much into the competitive multiplayer stuff, I have no problem passing on Battlefield until I see if it ends up in Game Pass or EA Access or any of that stuff. Because again, EA Access is the same as Game Pass for me, as being an Ultimate subscriber. So I have zero interest in jumping out day one on this title, knowing that it could eventually come to Game Pass. So what happens? I just stop buying stuff. Unless it's in Game Pass, I'm not getting it. And the majority of the games that are in Game Pass is stuff that wasn't really important enough for me to prioritize in the first place. So what I end up doing is all of my gaming choices on Xbox have been curated by someone else. And what I do, I don't know what y'all do, but what I do is I look and see what do they have for me today, or whatever, when I'm jumping on Xbox. What do they got for me? Is it something that I'm interested in? And I scroll through all the stuff, the new releases and the updated for Series X, all those different little categories that they have. And if I don't find nothing in there that's compelling that I really want to play, then I bounce. But never does it occur to me to buy a game day one on Xbox. And for me, the reason this is significant is because that is the exact opposite behavior from before. I used to buy every game day one on Xbox. Every game that I thought was worthy of a day one purchase, I would buy on Xbox. There was no question in my mind where I'm purchasing this game. Sometimes I would buy both. I'm not going to even hold you on that. Sometimes I would buy a game the same, like Red Dead Redemption 2. I bought it on Xbox and PlayStation because I wanted to compare for myself the versions, how it looked on PS4 Pro versus the Xbox One X. I actually did that a lot. Like, I ain't gonna even lie. I did that quite a bit, and I would just like buy two versions of games because I wanted to see for myself what the graphical differences were and how significant they were. But that aside, Xbox was my default platform for many reasons, mainly to do with like family and friends and parental controls, because it was just easier to do parental controls on Xbox because their parental control setup is excellent. And then when I would play games with like the kids and all of that stuff, it was just much simpler to do all of that on Xbox, and the way they share games and stuff, it was just better in my opinion. So Xbox ended up being my default platform. Okay, obviously it's not anymore, and several things led to it not being that anymore. But one of the things, and I'm not gonna hold you, is Game Pass. Game Pass has altered how I view games on Xbox, and Game Pass has altered how I purchase games on Xbox. So for me now, if it's not in Game Pass on Xbox, I'm not interested. And this, if there are more people like me, and I don't know that there are, although I had my guy Pretzel Jones, he tried to take the other approach and he tried to defend the inverse of what I'm saying. And then in the course of that conversation, he ended up admitting that he does the same thing actually. So if there are people who used to buy things and now they buy everything based on what's in Game Pass or not, those same people are not spending the same amount of money on Xbox. And let me be very clear, because I'm not saying buy Game Pass or buy a game, right? When I first started, I paid for Game Pass. Well, I use rewards points, but y'all understand what I'm saying. I was a Game Pass subscriber and I bought games. It was both. Now I am only a Game Pass subscriber, but I don't buy games on Xbox for the reasons that I've already listed. So what happened was I went from being a person that was 2 revenue streams on Xbox down to just 1. And the way it is now, if it's not in Game Pass, I'm not paying attention to it. And I'm not sure that that's what they intended. And you see people say all the time, well, the money that I save on Game Pass will actually help me buy more games later. And it'll help me because I was able to get this game on Game Pass, then that freed up resources for me to buy this other game that's not on Game Pass. So on and so forth. And you see people saying this, right? But when you look at the data, actually, the data shows that ain't nobody buying shit on Xbox, Game Pass or not. So I'm not real clear where this comes from. I know it sounds good, right? Like on paper, it looks good. It sounds good to be able to say shit like this. But at the end of the day, what are we really doing? If we were to have an honest conversation, my gaming habits on Xbox have changed. And the money that I save from buying games in Game Pass, I'll go buy that shit right on PlayStation. There is zero interest from me in purchasing games on Xbox that's not in Game Pass itself. And now, to be clear, I think Game Pass is a fine service. Well, I think the concept of Game Pass is a fine service. I like the idea of it. The problem is right now, Microsoft is not contributing to it. And the big lure was Xbox first party titles day and date on the service, and they never leave. We don't really have that. So like well, we do, but like, you know, some of the older stuff, but ain't really no day and date stuff dropping. So what we really have now is just a lesser version of PS Now. Now, it is true that in the past few months, they've been getting day one from like third parties and that kind of stuff. And that has helped to boost it up a bit if you are interested in those types of games. So they realize their deficiencies, and they are definitely doing things to get content day and date other than their own stuff until they get the rolling. But at the end of the day, it's not filled with bangers or compelling titles. Every other person that I see talk about Game Pass is, let me see what they got. Is it something I've been meaning to try that I didn't get around to before? Which in my mind reads, is this something that I didn't prioritize before, and do I have time for it now? Well, I done paid for it, or I got a free trial. Let me go see what's there. And it's like the people that I know, they find something to go play in Game Pass, but there's really nothing in Game Pass that's drawing them. So for example, the 24th of this month, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut is coming out. I'm gonna be all over it. Why? Because the game is a banger. I'm excited for the new content, and I gotta get them I gotta get the rest of them trophies, right? So I know what I'm gonna play on PlayStation, and I know why I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut because the game is fire. Now, that being said, what about games that's not on PlayStation? On Xbox? Why am I gonna play a game on Xbox? Well, because it's in Game Pass. I don't have that same amount of zeal, right? I don't have it. It's just like...
Can you hear me?
Oh, man, hold on.
Code.
So all my stuff on... Okay, sorry about that, y'all. All of my stuff on Xbox through Game Pass is basically that. It's just waiting for them to curate something. If it's something that I'm interested in, then I'll play it. If not, then I won't. But there is nothing that just draws you to it day one, day and date. So that's pretty much what I have to say about Game Pass, and what I think is like a side effect that they didn't intend or that they didn't think about. I literally went from a 2 revenue stream source down to 1. All because I don't like being burned by buying a game and then later that game comes to Game Pass. It's just safer to wait. Now, anybody want to come in and speak their piece on this? You agree, disagree, you think I'm leaving something out, any of that stuff, then I'm gonna get y'all in here. But again, it's just gonna be 2 at a time. And stay on topic. When you get in here, don't get to throwing shade about no bunch of other stuff that ain't got nothing to do with Game Pass. That's all we discussing is the Game Pass effect. All right, we about to get a couple of people in here. We doing them in order, right? So the order that I see people requested, this is the order that I'm adding people as speakers. 2 at a time. Then after you speak your piece, go on and jump out. What's up, Cğħ? What's up, bro? Mic check. You there? All right. Well, Charles, what is that? Charlie, go ahead and do your thing, bro. He ain't saying nothing.
What's going on?
What's up? What you got for us?
Yeah, not much, man. Just I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. I guess while I hear you and your points, and they're good points, I think maybe it's important to take a step back here and make the distinction that, like, gamers like you and like me and probably many others listening here, we actually represent a really small subset of the community, of the market share, right? Mm-hmm. We play games pretty heavily. We enjoy the hobby. We're very passionate about it. But the majority of people are not like us, right? I think at least the majority of gamers are very casual, right? So when a new game comes out that we really want to play, we don't have a problem to go out there and buy it, be it on PlayStation or Xbox or PC or, you know, wherever.
Okay.
So yeah, it is like a kick in the teeth when that game you bought a few months ago comes to Game Pass and you're kind of just like, oh, you know, like I spent this money when I could have played for free on Game Pass. Fair. But for the casual gamer that really only buys Call of Duty and FIFA, right, and then maybe some other game, Game Pass is a tremendous value for them. And
okay, so
maybe it leads to them playing a whole bunch of games that they wouldn't have played otherwise.
All right, so Charlie, let me jump in there real quick because I hear you, but I think that there are several contradictions in what you said. And I don't think they were intended. I don't think you trying no sleight of hand stuff. I think that they're just legit things, oversights that maybe you hadn't considered. So in the one example, you say someone who only plays Call of Duty Madden. Is that what you said? Was that what the choices were?
Well, somebody who's only going to buy Call of Duty or FIFA or Madden, right?
Okay, so a gamer that only plays Call of Duty, FIFA, or Madden, why would that person be interested in Game Pass at all?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Previously, they wouldn't be interested in anything at all because that's the only thing that they really are willing to pay for. Mm-hmm. But now Game Pass brings the value proposition of, I can spend, some cash. I mean, because it's not cheap, right? Game Pass Ultimate,
sure,
is, like $180, right?
Sure.
And maybe they look at that investment and say, you know what, that's more than I usually spend, but I'm going to get all this other stuff that comes with it. I can get Xbox Live. I can get any of these games that come to Game Pass. And like you said, we haven't seen it yet, but one day Microsoft's first-party games are going to be there. And I don't know, does Halo move the needle for the casual gamer?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. So it seems like you're saying, so just so I'm clear, it seems like you're saying Xbox is willing to sacrifice the gamers like me in exchange for the gamer people that you're talking about.
You know what? That's interesting because I haven't thought about that, but it's a good point.
Okay.
I think it's, it's a really good point. Do they do that? Do they make that? I would think, and this is just me thinking, right? I think if you're like, in the Microsoft war room, you'd have to say that's a sacrifice that you'd be willing to make because what Microsoft wants to do right now is get more market share. And the really hardcore gamer is, a really small subset of that market share. Then you'd have to think they're going to make, or they would want to make that compromise just to get more people invested into the ecosystem. Okay,
sure, that's a valid point. And so, you sound like really intelligent. Have you ever heard of the 80-20 rule, where like 80% of the profit is made from 20%?
The Pareto distribution, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Awesome. So, given that, then I wouldn't be so quick to discount people like us, because people like us, depending on how you segment the market, right? Like it depends. But if you look market wide, people like us do the majority of the spending. And then of course you try to find the unicorns in that. And traditionally, the approach has been identify and foster the unicorn, not discourage the unicorn. What say you to that?
That's another interesting point, right? I don't really have the answer to any of these topics. I'm just asking the questions, right?
Okay.
But I guess it is possible that 20% of the gamers will be, responsible for 80% of the revenue. And that's the 80-20 rule. Probably it's a bit more even than that, right? Because I don't know. 80% of profit is coming from 20% of the gamers. It sounds like a lot, right? But again, I don't have the data in front of me.
Sure, I don't either. Right. Right.
But what I'm saying is that it's. I think moving forward, or some years from now, Game Pass is really going to be less for the hardcore gamer and more for the casual. Just because I think that the value proposition that it's going to bring to the casual people is going to be quite compelling.
All right, so I'm gonna have to let you go, Charlie, because I need to get more people in. But I will say this before you leave, and I want to give you like a chance to address it just really quick. So the flaw that I see in your position is, again, the way people classify the Madden, FIFA, Call of Duty group of people. So I think you're making a fundamental mistake in that you are proposing that the reason the Madden, FIFA, Call of Duty people don't play these other games is because they can't afford them, and they can only afford to pay for these 3 games in a year, and that's their limit. I suggest that is false. I suggest the reason that they only play those games are because those are the only ones they care about, and they don't care about these other games. They've seen these other games. They've seen the commercials. They've seen Borderlands commercials. They just don't care about it. And then being able to say, well, hey, you can play Borderlands, a game that you really haven't been interested in, for 8 years anyway, but hey, it's here now, give us $180 and now you can try it. That's no different than waiting on Borderlands to go on sale and buying it if you're interested in it. So I'm not really sure that those people are avoiding these games because they can't afford it.
Right. Okay. So I mean, just to quickly wrap it up, my point isn't that these casuals can't afford the games. My point is that they're unwilling to make the investment to play all the games. So when something like Game Pass comes along, which, you know, brings the cost of entry down a bit, and then you add that in with games like I said, like Halo, like Starfield, like, you know, these are going to be RPGs.
Wait, hold on. How you gonna hype up Starfield? You don't know what it is. Please stop this, sir. You was doing good, Charles. You was doing good, man.
But I mean, what does that have to do with anything? I think it's, you know, it's I can be excited about the game even though I don't know what it is.
How?
It comes from a team that I like, so I mean, I can be excited. I'm not saying it's game of the year already, but I mean, I can look forward to it.
You can be excited for a game from a team that you like, even if you don't know what it is. So you're saying that it was justifiable for people to be excited about Fallout 76 before they knew what it was?
Well, I mean, I guess that would be. I'd have to say that's an outlier, right? Because
why?
That wasn't exactly.
Why is it an outlier?
Because that game was developed by Bethesda Game Studios Austin, but it was marketed as if it was a Todd Howard game, which he is not the director of that game. That's not his game.
Okay, well, Charles, we're gonna have to go because we're getting off topic. I'll let you deter me with this Starfield stuff. Yeah, man. I appreciate you, man. Talk to you next time.
Yeah, see ya.
All right, Erotimus, what you got, bro?
Yes, sir. All right, yes, sir. So I think I kind of put this on the Twitter post we were talking about, but it's a paradigm. So to correlate what you were saying into the market, it was the same feeling when Netflix started doing digital videos and all that stuff. When I would purchase a lot of movies, digital movies, because I didn't want to have the physical copies anymore. But then like 2 or 3 weeks later down the road, that movie was showing up in Netflix. Or same thing with music, right? Mm-hmm. Where it changed. We're in a status right now where we're in a subscription service is taking on of ownership compared to just physically owning the product, right? So we're in that cloudy period, that gray period where, like you said, we don't know what's going to Game Pass comparing to what's you have to buy. So once everything, let's say, like now we expect everything to go to a subscription service. So I don't know if your movie buying purchases really changed or stuff, but like I stopped purchasing movies or music because I know it's going to be in Spotify. I know it's going to be in one of those movie subscription services. And I don't have to worry about ownership to go see it, right? Unless I want to get the movie experience, like what, you know, PlayStation exclusives are, is that big budget movie experience where you have to go to the theater to experience with others, right? Mm-hmm. So those things, that thing is it. So right now, what you're saying is basically Game Pass is kind of changing changing the way we view how to purchase, and it could be good for bad, right? Ownership is always one of those things where if we have the same experience as a renter has the same experience as an owner, why should I own it? Why should I own it if I have the same experience as somebody that feels they own the product? Okay, so hold on. So you actually have distorted my position a bit. So again, I'm not discussing the contrast between the owner and the renter. I said, like, even if I still want to buy a game on Game Pass, so let's just say I want to own every one of my games, it is still more beneficial for me to buy them once they are in Game Pass. And so Game Pass for me is not a matter of owning versus renting. Game Pass is, even if I want to buy it, I'm still not going to buy it until it's in Game Pass. And I never have to rent a single game because Game Pass still offers an excellent discount. And so it's a matter of my buying purchases have changed to I'm not going to buy anything outside of the service. Okay. So from your perspective, yes. Then I guess if you say from my perspective, I did buy Death's Door because I reviewed the game and saw it was a great game, so the $17 or $20 I paid for it was something I'm willing to take on. I bought the Ascent, even though I knew that was going to Game Pass day one, because I felt what the developers were doing was something unique and different.
Well, I did too with the Ascent. Yeah, that was the exception. I bought an Ascent for me and a few other people, specifically to support those developers.
Yes, and so in that aspect, that means, is it on Game Pass to promote the game in a certain way on Microsoft, or is it way, because let's say the Ascent was, the way it was being promoted and shown, although it didn't review well, it actually changed the way to say, even though it's in Game Pass, I still want to make this purchase, right? So is there something with the marketing of the games that has to be done to say, hey, and this is probably more what Microsoft is, I still want people to purchase these games even though it's coming to this service? Or it doesn't change the developers the way they make the games, where I know the game is coming to Game Pass, but I need to still develop a way where people want to purchase.
Okay, so Rodimus, so for you, you're saying that you will not be frustrated if Death's Door ends up in Game Pass next week?
No, because the experience I've already received with it with my son, and it's like crying over spilled milk to a degree.
Okay, wait, no, hold, wait. So you would not be frustrated if Death's Door ends up in Game Pass, but you already have Game Pass.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying, though, because I've already...
Well, hold on. I'm not done. Hold on. So, when you played Death's Door with your son, you said, why didn't y'all play something else from Game Pass instead?
Why didn't we play something else?
Yes.
Because I wanted to experience Death's Door, and he saw me playing it, and so he wanted to experience as well. But other games they do play, I mean, he plays Monster Hunter Live all the time, and I ended up purchasing that game because I knew it was going to one day leave Game Pass. But that's just one of the staples he plays all the time. But
so,
like you said, so the experience of a game going into Game Pass is something I experienced, like I said, in the movies. The regret of buying it at first, but then that regret started leaving, or like you said, my buying habits changed. Two things will happen. Like you stop, like you said, stop buying the stuff day and day because you know it's going to go in Game Pass or go into a subscription service, or you actually have to understand that you have to find some true value of really wanting it.
Okay, so hold on, bro. Yep. All right. So you are So you are combining a lot of things, and I'm trying to unravel. So first you say when it comes to movies, and I may have misunderstood you, but you was using this as like a template or as a pattern. When Netflix and all these other services come, people stop buying movies, and that this is a normal expected course, and you just have to adjust. But then you set that standard, but then you turned around and said, but with games, you don't stop buying games, you still buy games. And I'm trying to reconcile. Go ahead.
Well, that'd be the same thing with movies also. So if I wanted to own like the highest fidelity version.
Well, okay, right. Hold on, right. Hold on, right. Nope, hold on, right. So you have to hear my whole thing before you jump in. So what I'm hearing from you is, like with movies, people will just simply stop buying movies if they can rent them. And if the renter experience and the owner experience are insignificantly different, there is no benefit to owning when you can just rent. But then you turn around and you also said that at first buying games and they go into Game Pass annoyed you, but now it doesn't because you realized something. And what is that something that you have realized that ties all of those together?
Something I realized. Let's see. Something I realized. Like, let's say, for example, Death's Door, right? Say because it wasn't because of the unique, I guess, Zelda-like experience from retro days when I played Nintendo or so like that. That gave me a sense of, hey, I read not wait 3 months or 6 months or even 2 months down the line, whatever, to enjoy that experience. So it was just basically something I valued as, hey, I like that kind of style of play a game.
Okay. So that game was compelling to you. It was so compelling that it made you want to experience something outside of Game Pass.
Yes.
Okay. What is compelling in Game Pass that makes you do that same thing?
Now, what makes me compelling in Game Pass is basically the discoverability.
No. I'm not asking about an attribute of Game Pass. I'm asking what game in Game Pass is so compelling that it makes you want to play it the same way Death's Door did.
That's a good question. Let me think about that one.
Okay, well, feel free. You got plenty of time.
So the particular game I would think about, let's say, it would be...
Well, hold on. You think about that for a minute, bro.
It doesn't have to be a game I've already played. It doesn't
I know.
have to be a game I've already played.
I withdraw the question. Never mind, bro. Never mind. I withdraw the question completely.
Psychonauts 2. Because I don't think it's Psychonauts 2 because I never played Psychonauts 1 because that game never interested me.
Yeah, that's fine. We can withdraw the question. Don't even worry about it. All right, so we got Ramon in here. Ramon, what you trying to say to us, sir?
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Man, stop with all that formality trash. What's up, bro?
Alright, so...
Wait. Do you have a job yet? Can we see your name in the credits? Can we see you on the screen? Can we see you on net? Can we see you in one of these rental services, man? That's what we trying to figure out first, sir.
I'm waiting to hear back for 2 projects, sir, but it's between me and about 500 other people, so it's kind of a process.
Man, have some confidence, man. We ain't worried about them other niggas. Go ahead. What you got for us, sir?
Alright, so Game Pass for me.
Wait. Let's tell it. Hold on, nephew. Let's tell everybody your background first, right? Like, you were predominantly PlayStation. Like, this is your first time owning an Xbox, right? Like, this generation.
Yeah, the Series X is my first ever Xbox. I was like 100% PlayStation before now, and I'm still primarily PlayStation, but I'm enjoying catching up on the games that I never played on Xbox.
Okay.
Leading up to when they start releasing new content. So for me, Xbox isn't a waiting game because I'm playing all the stuff I never played before.
Okay, fair enough. So now go ahead and tell us Game Pass from your perspective.
So 2 things. One, Game Pass for me, like when I plan to subscribe again, because I did the trial thing, and it's just my backlog is too big to subscribe right now. It just wouldn't make sense.
Okay.
But I plan to use Game Pass for the first-party games, and then games like Death's Door and games that are third-party, like smaller third-party devs, I intend to buy, whether they go into Game Pass or not. And
wait, what? What? Whoa! Why?
Doesn't bother me. Like,
wait, whoa!
Like, I'd buy a game and then
whoa.
5 days later we'll go into PS Plus for free, and it's just like, well,
wait a minute.
I wanted it anyway, and I supported the dev and so forth.
What? Hold on, wait a minute, sir.
Since they're owned by Microsoft anyway, it's not. I mean, they're going for subscriptions anyway, so it's
hold on, man.
As a big deal.
Hold on. You talking crazy? Wait a minute. Well, hold it. So you're saying that other than Microsoft first party, if a game is in Game Pass or not, you're buying that game anyway because you only want to use Game Pass for first party titles and you don't want to capitalize on any of the other games in the service. Is that what you're saying? You there? Uh-oh. All right, maybe the stream has crashed again. Let me see. I'm gonna try to get somebody else in here and see what's going on. Ramon, did we lose you? Is the stream dead? Okay, here come nephew. What up, nephew? What up, man?
Ramon got out of here, bro. He said he had to go to work. He had to go to work.
All right, well, I guess I'll have to catch up with him with that on Twitter. We'll have to finish that up. What you talking about, nephew? What you got for us, man?
Man, I just feel like, Game Pass is valuable to people who either are in like a financial bind, or just not in the AAA exclusives like that, to be honest. Because we can't afford, these games, and we can afford to pay $70, $70 a pop. But some people and some families can't do that. So, I can see people seeing Game Pass valuable from that perspective. But outside of that, I got nothing for it.
All right, so you saying you in a different tax bracket? That's what you saying?
I'm in a whole different. That's exactly what I'm saying. Gaming ain't no cheap hobby. You feel me? And people know that coming into that shit. So, with that being said, get your finances right before you. You know what I'm saying? Before you get in that.
All right, that's what's up. All right, so we got my guy Game Goon trying to get in. Then after him, then we got a couple more people. We gonna bring them in. Dre, weird that want to talk. We gonna see what he talking about. So Game Goon, what you got for us, Ghetto Blaster? Okay, I guess he ain't got nothing.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
All right, what's up? What you got for us, player?
Back with some bullshit.
Speak on it.
You can't say because somebody in Game Pass the name in your tax bracket. That's bullshit. I can tell you right now. That's straight bullshit. Hey, I got a Corvette, a house, and a Cadillac outside, so that goes down the drain. And I'm still on Game Pass. I'm on Game Pass. So what I'm saying is this right here. Exactly. I buy everything first party or third party games outside of Game Pass. It don't matter if it's going to Game Pass later or not. I done bought 6 games this generation that I knew wasn't going to be in Game Pass, and I didn't care if it was going to be in there or not, is what I'm saying. So I don't know how y'all view Game Pass. I view it as a good deal, and I buy games that I want to play outside of Game Pass.
So hold on, Ghetto Blaster, hold on.
Go ahead.
I know you a busy man, and I know your hustle. So like, you can't even throw that at me, player. How would you got time for all of these games and Game Pass? Something ain't adding up, man. It ain't that many hours in the day.
To be honest with you, my backlog is crazy.
So why do you need Game Pass or still buying games?
I mean, I do go in Game Pass. I'll play from time to time. Like, I jump on at least 2 or 3 hours a day, every day.
In Game Pass?
Reality. In Game Pass or games that I have.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed, I barely touch.
Oh, so you saying you game about 3 hours a day is what you're saying?
3 or 4 hours a day, every day I jump on there at least that time to get out of reality. You know what I'm saying? That's why we game. But
So if we used to go check, it would say you've been on there yesterday. So
no, he legit. No, nephew, he legit. He legit.
Just answer the question.
No, he not like that, nephew. He cool. He legit.
Answer the question.
The way I feel about it is that the argument doesn't even make sense. How do you think rich people stay rich? They reinvest and they spend other people's money. You see these rich people walking around in raggedy ass jeans and ugly ass t-shirts from the dollar bin, and it's just like, why are you dressed like that? Why are you walking around like that?
Because
they're spending other people's money.
Like getting dressed.
No, they're spending other people's money. Like the whole. If you listen, I'm sure that there are some people who are in a financial bind, and that's why they choose Game Pass, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the assumption that everyone who has it is only having it because they don't have any money is one that's not.
Man, they didn't like that, nephew.
It's ridiculous. Hold on. I don't think there's anything wrong with the $70 games. I don't have any problem spending that kind of money, personally. But why spend money when you can get shit for free? Like, it doesn't even make any sense to me. Wait, hold on. Take Demon Souls and Eternal, for instance. I got my boys. Well, they paid to buy those games for me. But I could have bought them myself. It doesn't mean I don't have any money. It means that I had some generous donors willing to shell out the cash. That's all.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just saying, look, and it was just a joke when it came to.
You always got something bold to say about being an Xbox user. What's good?
Everything, just because something free don't mean that their whole value.
Hey, all money ain't good money. Tell them, nephew.
You feel me? I'm just saying, you can go get a shirt from Goodwill for $2 fucking, but that shit might be trash. You feel me?
Just because something's just because something's expensive doesn't mean it's actually valuable. You know?
I agree with that.
Look at Apple cups us every single year with a new iPhone with like iterative updates. You know, barely any updates, and people still shell out thousands of dollars if they want to buy the full phone or just payment plan on the phone, even though it's like not worth it. So
my whole point was it's a low entry level for people to, you know what I'm saying, get into the Xbox ecosystem. And I'm not saying that you have to.
Nephew, hold on, nephew. Hold on, nephew. Don't let Luca knock you off your square, man. Forget Luca. Ain't nobody scared of Luca. Tell her how you feel. Tell her she poor.
No, listen. Was my exact words not the fact that if you may be in a financial struggle, then Game Pass will have value? That's what I said. You brought up that tax bracket. That was with a butt. If that's the case, then you can't $7 games. Gaming is not a cheap hobby. And so with that being said, go to Game Pass if you can't spend $70 on AAA titles. That's simple.
Listen, all I'm saying is that like it just doesn't make any sense. Like shit's not adding up, and let me tell you why. Because people are willing to spend that $200 on that Elite controller, but don't want to spend the $70 on the game. So it doesn't have anything to do with financials. It's just whether or not people want to spend that money on that certain thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I can acknowledge that for this community in particular, a lot of it does have to do with just the console war stuff. It's just another talking point. But there are some people who are just like, yeah, I don't want to spend the extra $10. I don't get it personally. If you live in the States, it's just another $10, right? That's always been my viewpoint. But, you know, like to each their own, whoever feels that way. But I just it's been a long-standing narrative that doesn't make any sense. But if you have Game Pass, that means that you're broke or something. And it doesn't make sense. I see my Xbox brethren dropping all that money on those OLEDs every single week. Just got my OLED, just got another Series X, just got another Series S. Like, it's not adding up. Alright? Either they're poor or they're not.
Man, don't let Luca knock you off your square, man. Forget Luca, man. Tell her how you feel.
Hey, she didn't back me up. We just came to a common agreement with that.
Oh, man.
I always spoke on that. I said, mofos will be out here spending $120 on a Xbox controller. Meanwhile, they complaining about $7 damn game. I ain't here.
It's just I guess they just don't find the value in PlayStation games, and that doesn't make sense to me because I personally think most of them are good, but you know.
Okay, hold on real quick, y'all. Hold on real quick.
Yeah, he not slick.
Real quick. Persona, we gonna get you in, man. I'm trying to limit it to 4 speakers at a time. We got Dre up now.
How about let Persona get up, man?
Okay, bro. All right, Dre, what you got? And then Persona, we got you next, bro.
All right, man. Sorry to jump on games real quick, but yeah, that was bullshit about what he said.
Now, don't apologize to that ninja. He's fine.
Cause like I'll tell anybody, I'm a cheap nigga, you know, straight off the bat, and that's why I got so much money though, because I'm cheap.
How much money you got?
Don't worry about that. Anyway, but I hear a lot of people talking bullshit, talking about, yeah, I got Game Pass, but I'm gonna buy this game outside of Game Pass. Bullshit. Me personally, I'm taking every advantage of Game Pass that Game Pass has to offer. So if this third-party game is in Game Pass, I'm gonna use Game Pass to get it. Fuck it. You know, a lot of people talking that bullshit about that shit. That ain't
oh shit, my bad. I don't think it's bullshit. I think like if I try a game in Game Pass and I like it, I'll buy it.
I mean, sure, if you continue to play it, no doubt. If it goes out of Game Pass, you know. So you're saying if it's still in Game Pass and you like it, you're going to buy it, even though it's still in Game Pass.
I do all the time.
Like Death's Door, you know, like I like that, so I'll probably end up buying it if I can get past this 1 second.
But is that in Game Pass though? Is Death's Door?
Well, Dre, hold on, Dre. Hold on, Dre. Like I buy stuff that's in Game Pass because I want to own it. Like, what is so abnormal about that?
No, I mean, to each his own. You know, you did to each his own. But I think for most people, you know, All right, I'll just speak for myself. I don't generalize. Me, I'm gonna take everything that Game Pass has to offer. You dig? That's why I'm paying for the motherfucker. Why am I not gonna take advantage of it if I'm paying for it?
Sure, makes sense to me.
Like I said, I get that. I'm just saying that if you try out a game in Game Pass and you decide to like it, some people want to buy it, and I don't know why. Like it's just something that I like to do personally. But like I understand, like it's not an argument of I want to just support the devs, because I understand that the developers are already getting paid by Microsoft to have their games there. You know, I just like owning things, I guess. Owning, quote unquote owning. That's like another argument, though. You know, so, do you really own these games? Not really.
All right, so we got Wᴇʟᴏ Giant. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but I see you tweeting all the time. All right, what you got for us, player?
That was good. For me, I like Game Pass. Xbox is also my secondary console, so I did the whole, because I got my first Xbox One last April. I jumped in real late.
Okay.
To that gen.
Okay.
Because the Ori and Will-O-the-Wisp looked amazing, so I wanted to play those games. So got an X, did a bunch of shit to get Game Pass for $60, and I had a year and a half's worth or whatever. And now I'm all the way up to November next year, just from rewards and ambassador shit.
Okay.
I like it, but I'm kind of like you. Since Xbox is definitely my secondary, if a game's not in Game Pass, pass. I'm not even gonna give it a thought, to be honest.
Okay, that's what's up.
Xbox. Yeah. So.
All right, well, we appreciate you sharing that, man. Like I said, for me, I just want to highlight, whereas I used to buy plenty of games on Xbox, now I don't buy any. And I'm not sure that that was an effect that they were aiming for. I think that might have been an unintended side effect. All right, Infamous, what you got for us? Infamous, one check. Mic check, what you got? Okay, there you go. I see you, speaker. You got anything?
I don't see him, bro.
All right, it says Infamous speaker on mine, but okay. I just brought in, I'm Tony. What you got?
What up, man? So, what is this, the Game Pass effect? What is that a question? Is there a Game Pass effect?
So you must have showed up late. I'll tell it to you. I'll tell it to you again real quick in 15 seconds. I used to buy games on Xbox. I have purchased over 300 games on Xbox. Since I have been into Game Pass, I realized that I no longer buy games on Xbox. I only consume things that are in Game Pass. And if I do want to buy a game, I wait until it comes to Game Pass and I buy it then. So that before, Microsoft had two revenue streams for me. I was a Game Pass subscriber and I would also buy games. Now, I only buy games through Game Pass, and they have lost a revenue stream. And I'm not sure that that was an intended consequence. I think that might have been a side effect that they did not want.
Yeah. Okay. So I always thought the intention of for Game Pass was you try the game, you get hooked onto the game, you like the game, you buy the game. But that's not how it's working. People are doing what you do, and I think anybody with common sense will do what you do. Why are you gonna spend money on a game that you could play for what, $10 or whatever it is?
Whatever, yeah.
And especially the fact that it stayed there for as long, months? You're done with that game after a couple months. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. Especially with a done story game, so you're not gonna buy it. So I think that you're saying that Game Pass effect, that's a real thing, and that's gonna keep happening unless Game Pass changes with how games are gonna, how long they're gonna stay there, and how good they are. I have zero interest in anything that goes to Game Pass. I believe my belief in Game Pass is anything that goes there is either not done or is garbage.
Whoa.
That has been proven to be true.
Whoa. Now that's
how I feel, though. I'm not saying anything. Everybody feels like that, but that's how I feel. So I think that Game Pass of what you just said, I think that's 100% true, and I think that's happening with more than just you. It's happening with everybody. Everybody's on Game Pass. They're not buying shit unless it's on Game Pass. Unless it's not on Game Pass. That's how I feel. That's how I see it.
all right, player.
And that's my take on it.
All right, well, we appreciate you coming through, man.
All right, man.
All right, peace. So we finally got the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, Mr. Blind Archangel himself, the sole creator of the Royal Order of Pegasus Nation logo. What you got for us, sir? Oh, this man ain't saying nothing. Where you at? What you got for us?
You hear me?
Yeah, okay, there you go. What's up, man?
Hey, yeah, I know I've said it about 100 times online. I only bought the Xbox One X because of Game Pass. I used to buy, you know, I've owned every Xbox. I bought an original Xbox because of Halo.
Right.
And that's what got me into Xbox. And I bought a 360 at launch. Kind of got soured on that because of failures and all this. But when they finally brought out the One X, which had the power that I was looking for, and I found out, oh, for $15 a month, I could just play all the games they put out.
Okay.
And especially when I saw Forza Horizon 4, that's what I wanted. That's what made me get one. So, but I'm the same. I'm not buying them games. And you know what's funny is I almost bought Forza Horizon 4 because I love those games. But then you see Forza canceling friggin' Forza 7 because they don't want to pay up on the... It's like, okay, maybe I don't want to buy that.
Right.
I don't like that stuff because, I mean, you know, Gran Turismo, you can play every Gran Turismo right now.
Yeah, don't change the topic. That is a good one. You right. Microsoft's supposed to have all this money. Why ain't they re-upping the license so these games can continue? That is a good conversation, but it's a conversation for a different day, sir. We're going to have to hold off. But before you leave, bro, tell us, how did it feel when you stormed the Capitol on January the 6th?
Yeah, I didn't do that. I ain't done.
You are so nasty.
That was a bunch of foolish idiots.
All right, man, we got to get some more people in here. We appreciate you, bro. And thanks for that logo. All right, peace. All right, Infamous, you there this time? What you got for us, man? We waited for you last time. You ain't say nothing. All right, what you got? What you got?
And kick me out. Can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you loud and clear.
All right, perfect. So I'll put it like, it's a cancer for the video game industry.
Whoa.
I called it when it first came out. I said this is going to do the same thing that when Game Pass came out in Blockbuster. And I remember when Game Pass came out in Blockbuster, you know what everybody was doing? They were renting the games and they were copying them to the hard drives on their PS2s and their other systems, right? You know what I mean? So when I say it's cannibalizing the industry, it's because what's happening with Xbox gamers, and you see it. What do they say? They say, we want all the JRPGs and everything that comes to Xbox now, right? But they only want it to come to Xbox if it's going to be in Game Pass. The numbers show that they aren't buying the games if they aren't into Game Pass. Microsoft has not released new numbers for Game Pass subscribers. A lot of Game Pass subscribers, like myself, haven't paid a dime for Game Pass. Mine ends October 22nd of next year. And I won't be re-registering it, right? Because I'm not going to pay monthly. I'm a physical collector, and I like to physically own my games.
Okay.
But the problem with Xbox is that, and Phil Spencer, he's a very smart guy, but he's also very sneaky too, right? He knows it. He's cannibalizing the industry. He's going to push these different companies to want to bring their games to Game Pass because the Xbox consumers aren't buying them. So he knows that's what's going to happen. Any game that's not coming to Game Pass, look at the numbers. They aren't buying them. The Xbox gamers aren't buying them.
Well, I know I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah, they're waiting for the games to come to Game Pass. They're you know what I mean? And to me, I think that's horrible. You know, Xbox gamers sit there and say, oh, you know, Game Pass, you support their directors. We don't know the numbers. We don't know how much money these people are getting from the Game Pass. I don't want to hear about, oh, we're supporting the game developer when we're getting it from Game Pass because you're renting your games. That's what you're doing. You're going to Game Pass, you're renting your games, you're not owning them. And the only way that you're going to own them is if you buy it. And it's showing that these people aren't buying these games. They're not buying them. If they're not coming to Game Pass, they're not buying them. And I think that's horrible for the industry. I think that's speeding up the process, trying to push to an all-digital future, which I would hate because, like I said, I like to physically own my games. I don't mind paying $70 for my games. You know, just like all consumer goods that are going up, everything's going up. The price of food, everything's going up. And people are complaining about $10. You know why they're complaining? Because of Game Pass. That's all I got. All
right, well, that was a mouthful. So Game Pass is cannibalizing the industry. That's a hot take. Hey, bro, I'm gonna have to get you on later. I'm gonna have to let you bounce right now because we got to get some more people in.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, that's a hot take there. Hey, we gonna follow up, bro. We definitely gonna follow up.
Sir.
All right, peace. Okay, so we got, who is this? 4-star? What you got for us, man? 4-star general. What you got?
Oh, first of all, man, thanks for, as always, man, awesome conversations, man, that you come up with.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
My point of view with Game Pass is this. I mean, first of all, small history. It is from gaming during times where I couldn't afford it. So I, for a long period of time, since the PlayStation 2 era, I was out of gaming through the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360. You know, I missed all of that. I got back into it late last generation and purchased both PS4 and Xbox One X at the same time.
Okay.
Try to have the best of both worlds.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, of course, as things went on, you know, PlayStation is where I end up putting most of my gaming on because those were the games that drew my attention. You know, those are the ones I enjoyed the most.
Okay.
Of course, when the Game Pass effect came in, and the way I look at it with this is there is some Xbox games that I do enjoy, that I do like. But the way I view Game Pass is when Xbox does come out for a first party game that I enjoy or I look forward to playing, then I'll purchase Game Pass for that month or two, play the game, enjoy the game for what it is, cancel my subscription after that. And when the next game comes out, I'll just keep rotating that way. And that's just the way I see it.
Okay.
Working for me anyways.
So you gonna game the system, like you gonna use it to your advantage, and when you're done with it, you moving on till you need it again.
Right. I spent years not being able to play because I couldn't afford it. I mean,
right.
It can be an expensive hobby, and it is what it is. I'm finally in a position in life where I can afford the game and purchase the games that I want that I find interesting. But anytime that I can find a chance to game the system, right, I'm gonna.
All right. Well, I ain't mad at you, player. That's why you a 4-star general. All right, man. We'll catch you next time, bro. All right. Peace. All right. So who is this? Dark Horse?
Yes, sir.
All right. What's it?
Hero QB and the flat. Well, not the flash, the digital.
All right. What's up? What you got for us?
Well, I've been listening to the discussion pretty much since its inception, and I'm not gonna lie, my primary platform is indeed Xbox. I play them equally.
I mean, you ain't gotta be ashamed of it. Like, if you prefer Xbox, that's fine. Yeah.
Absolutely, I'm proud of that. But in the same vein, it's like this Game Pass situation. I've been saying this since day one that it's gonna cause people to stop purchasing games, and the market is going to be affected by it, and we're clearly seeing that, and nobody wants to listen. You know, everybody thinks that, oh, Game Pass, you're getting these games for free. You're not getting them for free. You're paying the subscription service that you're tied to. And I keep hearing people comparing Game Pass to like movies, like Netflix and stuff like that. But in the same incident, it's like with Netflix and you're watching a movie, that movie will always be the same experience, no matter what you do. You cannot.
Okay.
You already did what he wanted to do with the movie. Period. There's no diversity in that. You're playing a game. It has multiple scenarios, multiple paths to take, multiple things to do. It's completely different media.
Good point. Good point.
And games.
Fair enough.
When I keep hearing people say that, it's not the dumbest in the world to me. And it's like, me being an Xbox guy, I tell Xbox guys, like, if you're gonna capture these games, play these goddamn games, because you're looking at these same numbers and they're not growing and they're being stagnant, and these developers are gonna eventually start putting their games off the platform.
Okay, hey bro, you definitely bringing the heat, but man, your mic is messing up, man. You've been botting for a while, but I could sort of keep up, but now it's getting worse and worse, bro. So we're gonna have to.
I'm in my office. I'm at work right now, so it's a little hard. But I felt I had to take the opportunity to speak up.
Well, we appreciate it.
Guys will literally let everything die if we don't, fight back. And I do have Game Pass, but I don't play a lot of the stuff that is on Game Pass, I buy these games that are on Game Pass. The only reason I even have Game Pass is because we get the discount on these games.
Facts. All right, bro. We gonna have to get somebody else in, man. Hey, make sure you keep an eye out for the next one, man, and try to have your mic in a little bit better situation, bro.
I got you.
Okay. All right, peace. What you got, Luca?
So here's the thing. I definitely think that people are less. Some people are more inclined to wait for a game to be in Game Pass before buying that, because I've seen it. But I've also seen like a lot of people on my timeline and on my friends list playing games like The Ascent and genuinely enjoying it, and then buying it. You know, like this whole idea, like, well, Xbox gamers don't do this, Xbox gamers don't do that. I'm like, I need you guys to specify, because the people in this community are actually playing and supporting these games that they hype up. You know, I saw people playing the Medium for some odd reason. I played that for 5 minutes. I had to go back and uninstall immediately. But like, I've seen people actually supporting these games that they are hyping up. You know, in Game Pass. Even though I personally, when it comes to some of these titles, I have no interest in it, regardless of whether or not they're in the service. But it's just like, you know, this idea that Xbox gamers aren't supporting the games just because the numbers aren't adding up. First of all, the Xbox platform, isn't it like the smallest out of the three?
It is.
You know, in regards to how many consoles are sold, and I mean, we have an idea of how many are out there. But as far as we're aware, PlayStation and the Switch have more consoles out there, so of course the numbers are going to be smaller. And then it's like, once again, it goes to the whole adoption rate, right? When it comes to titles,
yeah.
Numbers are always small when it comes to certain games, like first-party games. If we take PlayStation for instance, Ratchet & Clank always quote-unquote only sold like 1 million, and then Returnal sold 500,000. But those are like normal numbers in regards to how much those games typically sell. Well, to the platform to ratio.
Well, so real quick, Luca.
Whenever people say, well, Xbox gamers aren't supporting anything, like, you guys have to specify, because the people in this particular community are actually playing these games that you're talking about.
All right, so real quick, I just want to say one thing.
I don't get it, but it is what it is.
I'm gonna say,
I actually do support them.
All right, I'm gonna say one thing, and then I'm gonna get out the way, because Persona is in here, and I think you and Persona sort of the last conversation. Yep, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Mic check. 1 2. Okay, that's it. So that's the whole thing. The Twitter space is cut off on us right there. But you heard the conversation. We hope you enjoyed it. If you have anything you want to say, go ahead and leave a comment. If you want to continue the conversation on Twitter, this is how y'all find me on Twitter. I'm not difficult to find, all over social media. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Y'all know how this goes. If you're enjoying the content at the channel, then go ahead and subscribe again, because we got more coming for you. Now, we're going to finish this Game Pass thing. This is just part 1. But like I said, the Twitter spaces crashed, and we just had to cut it off and leave it there. We had a lot of people tweeting at us like, start it back up, start it back up. But we didn't start it back up. We just going to reschedule it to a different day, probably this week. All right, now we'll see y'all the next time. We appreciate the support, man. Go ahead, like I said, and subscribe if you're feeling all the content. If you're not liking what's going on, hit the dislike button and leave a comment telling me what you don't like about it. All right, y'all. Peace.